And you saw the video, and how many times did he stomp him?
The video you see maybe once or twice. He was 46 years old, twice my son's size.
This is the plaintiff, Tawana Ratley. She says she hired the defendant to defend her son who got into a fight, and as it turns out, the guy's nothing more than a two-bit lawyer who did nothing for her but take her money. He charged her $2,500. He doesn't even know her correct name, and she's suing his you-know-what for the return of her hard-earned money. This is the defendant, Michael Talasazan. He says he was retained for an attempted murder case involving the plaintiff's son, and there was video of the vicious attack. The kid had spikes on the bottom of his shoes, and he stomped on the victim's head until he was unconscious. The plaintiff sent him his retainer. He went to court a few times, but had to dismiss himself from the case because the plaintiff refused to pay him in full for his services. Owe her money? No way. He's accused of lawyering up. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $1,925 for the balance of his services.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Tawana Ratley, you are suing Michael Talasazan, your son's former attorney who you hired for your son, for the $2,500 retainer that you paid him because, according to you, he didn't earn it. You have a counterclaim against her for $1,925, which you say is the balance that she owes you for the work that you did. All right. What happened? Your son got in trouble for what?
Apparently, him and another bystander was walking down the block together. My son was on his way going out somewhere to go eat or something, but they counteracted.
No, I don't know what that means.
I mean, they hit each other by shoulders, bumped into each other.
They bumped into each other.
Okay. My son kept going because he had the headphones on. The guy must be came back and told him, but started swinging. So my son started backing up, didn't swing back. He backed him into the tree because it's on video for the footage that he sent me. He backed him into the tree. My son started fighting him back, dropped the guy, and beat him down on the ground.
Okay.
After
and then
that,
your son ends up getting arrested because there's a videotape of it.
Yes, he goes to the...
What happened to the guy?
The guy, apparently, from what I was heard from the detective who called me, had told me that the guy had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Do you know what the injuries were to
Yes, Your Honor.
What were they?
He had a brain hemorrhage and contusion to the brain and related injuries. I have his medical chart here.
Can I see it?
Sure.
What were the charges against the son?
Top charge was attempted murder in the second degree. I'm just going to give you the relevant records, so it's a little bit thinner.
Stop. What?
Attempted murder.
Give me all of the medical records.
Okay.
Whatever you
yes,
have.
Yes, I have the entire chart here. Sure.
So then you hire him in February. I see the retainer agreement is signed.
Yeah.
And the reason you feel that you should get your money back is because you think he didn't work at all, or because you don't like what it is that happened?
No, because he told me different stories that's not consistent of what's going on with the case now.
Such as?
Such as one, in my text message, he said when he went to see my son finally, that the DA was offering him 1 year to 1 to 3. We going to trial now. The DA said there is no offer at all on the table. That was one. He told me before he sent me the video, my son stomped the guy 20 times before he sent me the video. And I said, you sure my son stomped someone 20 times? He said, yes. I went to my son on a visit at Rikers. I said, you stomped someone 20 times?
And you saw the video, and how many times did he stomp him?
The video you see maybe once or twice. He was 46 years old, twice my son's size. It's not, he was trying to run. He said the guy kept getting up.
Okay, well, we'll see that as soon as we see the video. Do you have the video here?
Yes, I do, Judge.
We've got it loaded here? Yes, we do.
This is what he gave me, a little bit of this.
Please, don't talk now. Is that your son?
No, they always were at the other end just fighting.
One of these is your son. There's no audio on this? Is there audio?
No audio.
Okay.
That's him.
Who's the one on the wall?
That's the big guy. The smaller one with the green jacket is my son. That's swinging back after going into the tree.
Look at the two of them go.
You see my son leaving. He don't want to fight him. He's backing up. And then that's when he just dropped him. He had enough. Look, he was swinging back. He was too heavy for him, so my son threw him. Look.
Your Honor, he has different angles on this one.
Yeah, I have 3 angles.
Yeah, I want to see the
I
other
think the one
angle.
you want to see is
I
number 3.
want to see the one where I see the actual end results that forced the charge. How'd they charge him with attempted murder on this? Because of what happens that I didn't just see?
They allege, I'm not going to say whether it's true or not, but they allege that he was wearing spiked shoes and that he stomped the guy in the head several times while he was already visibly
down.
unconscious, and he had a duty to retreat at that point.
Okay. What's going on with the case now?
Right now, I hired another attorney. He wants to take it to trial. He says that my son has a self-defense, once that he backed up, and not only that, that the guy came at him swinging, and he kept trying not to fight him.
And there's no offer on the table?
Can I go back to something?
There's no offer on the table?
No. No, he told me that he
Okay,
offered
all right, I got it. I want to see what
in a
your
text.
son was accused of. I want to see how difficult the cases was. I want to see whether your complaint is legitimate, that you're being overcharged.
I filed against him.
I need you to stop talking.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so it starts to happen on the top of this shot. Yes, sweetheart, that's not once.
I didn't say once. I said at least 3 times.
No. You said, I don't know, once or twice. He's banging him like 20 times. He still isn't done kicking him once he's down. That's why he got charged, turns around and walks away, leaves the guy on the ground. Okay? That guy ended up getting hospitalized. All right. Let's discuss. No, stop talking. Let's discuss your bill. I have your bill in front of me. So there are a couple things that concern me that I want you to explain. Okay?
Sure, Judge.
Now, you charge her $300 legal research for self-defense justification. What legal research did you have to do? How long have you been practicing
I
criminal law?
always read the most recent appellate division cases.
How many times you got to read them with each
In
client?
this case, no, in this case, it was kind of a novel issue. It was a duty to retreat, and I wanted to make sure I had the rules right.
Okay.
I read the Court of Appeals, and I read the Second Department cases.
Okay, now, investigation of the complaining witness, you charged an hour for that. What was that?
An hour surfing around the web, using the paid sites I have to get a profile. I have a profile of the guy.
Right, but that's typically the kind of thing that you just hand over to an investigator to do, and it's at a reduced rate instead of $300 an hour, right?
Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Okay. Draft letter to ADA, Ray, discovery video. Isn't that just the letter that's already in your computer? You charge her $75 for that. That you just say, give me, I'm making a discovery request?
It was a little more detailed than that, Judge.
Can I see it?
Sorry, Judge, I don't have a copy of that with me.
Okay. Then there are a couple of court appearances, but I don't know what they're for or what happens on them, and she's charged $300 for each of them. You say there's one day he didn't show. What day do you claim he didn't show?
September, I can't get the exact date. It was September. I don't remember the exact date.
She would not have been charged for that.
It was,
If I adjourn a case because I'm engaged somewhere else, I don't charge my client for that.
I should hope not.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey 11 here. So, do you think lawyers typically overcharge clients?
I think you'll experience that. I have been a lawyer in life before.
You've been a lawyer in life?
I had a lawyer for divorce, and I was treated very fairly.
So he didn't overcharge you?
Not in my case.
So why are you ragging on lawyers?
Because I have a couple of cousins that are lawyers, and they overcharge.
Oh, your relatives are crooks, but your lawyer was a good guy.
Good guy, but they're both crooks.
Okay. Going inside the courtroom.
I even agreed to reduce, as you can see, one of my bills has several red lines through it. I even dropped a lot of the charges that I thought I was entitled to get paid on because I felt sympathy for her. She was trying to help her son, and I understood that. I understand it's expensive to have a private lawyer. So I was trying to work with her, and I gave her a discount, and I didn't have to do that. And she agreed, if you make a discount, I'll pay it. But she never did. I'm a sole practitioner. I can't afford not to have clients pay me for that long.
You charge her $300 for drafting an internal memorandum summarizing the file. May I see that memorandum? Sure. Okay. Let me just say a couple things. This is potentially a winnable case by a lawyer, but it's got to be a good lawyer and a lawyer who works hard on it. And that is not to say that legal aid or public defender's offices don't have good lawyers, because they have some of the best. I was a prosecutor for 10 years, and they have some of the best lawyers I've ever seen, okay? You went to legal.com, I guess.
AffordableLegal.com.
Legal match, Judge.
Legal what?
Legal match.
Legal Match is a match for lawyers? Oh my God. Legal Match and found him and talked to him, had a chance to talk to him for a long time, hired him, liked him, and paid him the money. You seem to equate getting the result you want with getting your money's worth. And what you don't understand is that that's not how this stuff works. This stuff is time consuming. Some of the things I don't agree with, and I'm going to cut it down as I see appropriately. But this stuff is time consuming. And it's not result driven. You don't just pay your lawyer if you think that they got the result you want. You have to understand that you have a son who clearly he's like trying to retreat. I see that. But then he beats the guy down pretty badly. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I don't know what the future is for your son. Mm-hmm. I do not know, okay? But I do know how complicated this kind of stuff is. And there's meetings with the prosecutors, there's evidence you have to go through, there's stuff that you have to do. And, you know, I know that you feel frustrated, and you just say, give me all my money back. You've been his lawyer for all this time, but I want to pay you zero. And you've come to court to sue because you want to pay zero. And he's counterclaimed against you because you still owe, according to him, $1,925.
No.
What do you think is fair, Mr. Talasazan?
Thank you, Judge. What do you think? What do I think is fair as an amount?
Yeah.
$1,000. Fair?
Yeah, I think so, actually. I think so. I think that he has earned the retainer that you paid him based on all the stuff I'm looking at and the discovery that had to be gone through and the difficulty, you know, with the case. But I think that an additional $1,000 is appropriate on your lawsuit against him, zero on his counterclaim against you, $1,000. That's my verdict.
Thank you, Your Honor.
So the plaintiff prevails, or rather the defendant prevails on his countersuit. The plaintiff is on her way out of the courtroom, and you did not prevail in your lawsuit. What do you think is going to happen now? What do you hope will happen?
He's either going to take the plea or go to trial. I paid the lawyer to take it to trial.
Well, good luck, okay?
Thank you.
I don't know.
Have a
Your
good
son
day.
seems to me he's in some trouble, serious trouble. Here comes Mr. Talasazan. How'd I do? Pretty good?
Thank you very much.
What do you think his son's future holds in court?
I really don't know. I think it's a difficult case, and had he stopped when the guy was knocked out, I think he would have been fine, but that's not what happened.
So, could be serious for him. Listen, thank you very
Could be.
much. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay. Good luck. Harvey?
Okay, look, I mean, when you hire a lawyer, you've got to make sure that you're looking at monthly statements, demand them, look them over, and if you don't understand them, ask questions. That will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This is the plaintiff, Anne-Marie Mahoney. She says she rented the top floor of her house to the defendants, the daughter and son-in-law of the woman she was dating. And boy, was that a mistake. The defendant's mother would be passed out drunk on the floor in the morning, and she knew she had to get out of the situation. Bottom line, she evicted them. They left behind a ton of trash and debris, damaged the place, and she's here suing them today for the $2,900 she's owed. These are the defendants, Eric Viana and Amber Peters. Eric says the plaintiff was the one drinking and causing a commotion at all hours of the night, and the cops were there numerous times to quiet things down. The plaintiff ended up tossing them out of the house. She put their expensive belongings out on the street to be ruined in the rain, and if anyone here's owed money today, it's them. They're accused of causing a real ruckus. The defendants have filed a countersuit for $2,700, the amount they need to replace their ruined things.
All parties, please use your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff rented a portion of her house out to the defendant. The defendant's mother got so drunk that the plaintiff said, you guys have got to go. Now, the defendant says that the plaintiff was the drinker and she ruined their stuff by putting it out in the rain. It's the case of boozy news.
Thank you, Douglas. Anne-Marie Mahoney.
Yes,
you
Your
are
Honor.
suing Eric Viana and Amber Peters for $5,900 for rent and damages. You are counterclaiming against your former landlord $2,700 for rent and items that you say you will have to replace, which I'll find out why in a moment. Go ahead.
Well, shortly, Your Honor, there are two Peters in this case. There's Ms. Peters and her fiancé, Mr. Viana, and then it's her mother. I served these tenants with a vacated will
Well, back it up. You were dating her mother.
for about a week, and it was not conducive to my lifestyle, Your
You
Honor.
dated her mother for a week?
Yes, ma'am.
And then, but wait, you dated her mother after you rented to them, or that's why you rented to them?
That's why I rented.
After you're dating somebody a week, you make a decision like that?
Well, I had heart surgeries, and I was in ICU, and I was a little incoherent.
How did you meet her mother?
On Craigslist to paint rooms, and I hired her to do some work at my house.
Okay.
And
And then you had heart problems?
Yes, ma'am. I had 2 heart surgeries, a stent put in my heart, and
But that was before you met her?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the second one was the week
So-
that I met her.
And the second one was, well, how'd you date? You didn't even date her for a week. You were in
No.
ICU. How many? Would you date her for a day? What?
Pretty much, yes.
Okay.
It was
and
a,
then she tells you, my daughter and her fiance are looking for a place to live.
well, she knew I was renting the upstairs, and she had mentioned that her daughter and son-in-law and 20-month-old toddler, and I said, okay, and I met them. Seemed like a nice young couple.
Okay, so really she's just the referral for who you ended up
Yes.
renting to. So you rent to them. They have a 20-month-old toddler.
Right.
And how many bedrooms is up there?
It was 2.5 bedrooms.
Okay.
and
And
a
then what goes
bathroom.
wrong?
With the mother being found on the floors and being taken out in ambulances, it was pretty bad.
What was she taken away in an ambulance for?
Trying to commit suicide, cutting herself, 4 times in handcuffs.
In the 1 week?
No, since they moved in
Oh, so
Yeah.
you ended up dating the mom for how long?
a week, and then I didn't want to be with her anymore.
Okay,
It
but
was-
so when did the stuff you're describing happen? Because you have a very action-packed week between ICU for your heart
Yeah.
and ambulances coming
I
and these
know.
people moving in. That's,
I served them. They moved
wait,
in
they move in what month?
May 18th.
Okay.
2017.
When does she get taken away in an ambulance for trying to kill herself?
2 days after they had moved in, I believe.
Okay, and why was she with you when she was trying to kill herself?
She was upstairs in their storage room with a teddy bear and sliced her femoral artery, and I had to call an ambulance.
Okay, how did you find out that had happened?
I found drops of blood all over the place, and I followed the trail of blood.
Were they there when this happened?
They were en route moving down it with a U-Haul truck.
So she goes to the hospital and they stitch her up?
They put her in a psychiatric ward. She was there for several weeks, came home.
Okay, I'm sorry to hear about this. Is she better?
She's doing well now.
Okay.
Better.
So you come in with the U-Haul, you move in. You're living there for how long? From May 18th to when?
We had left June 10th, around that time.
So how
June
long were you
10th.
there?
Very, very shortly. I'm sorry. I think it was July 10th.
Okay, they move in. Is everybody in agreement that they moved in May 18th?
Yes.
And then what happened with the rent for May?
I didn't charge him any, Your Honor.
Okay, so the first day to charge rent is June 1st.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and by June 1st, had you told them, listen, this isn't going to work out, you guys got to go?
Not at that point.
Okay, so on June 1st, did they pay rent?
Yes.
Everybody's in agreement with that. Then
Yes.
July 1st came, did they pay rent?
Eric paid $250 because at that point now I had served him and noticed the tendency at will to vacate.
Okay, what day do you give them a notice to vacate?
The first notice I gave him was June 6th to vacate, and then Ms. Peters took me to housing court.
Okay, so
And-
what do you take her to housing court for?
Well, the second day that we were there, she tried to run my mother over with her truck. I have
How?
a police report. Well, she got in her truck and went in anger, trying to run her over. My mother called me, said call the police.
Do you have the police report?
Yes, Your Honor.
May I have it? And then what other incidents was there that brought you to housing court?
Well, she refused us access to the home. We left to go stay at a hotel to...
No, wait, before you leave, she refused to give you access to what part of the home? Any of it?
Any of it at all.
Like, how did she refuse?
I have text messages from her telling us that we were not allowed back in the home, that if we wanted to ever come to the door, we needed to have a police with us, and we did. Every
Let me
single
see
time we
those
did
texts.
go.
This is after you paid June rent.
Yes. After we paid July rent.
Oh, after you
which
paid
we
July
did
rent.
pay. We
So
did.
you
We
paid, well, you paid
$700.
$250. How much was your
We
rent?
paid $700.
For July?
Yes, we
Do you
did.
have proof that you paid $700?
Yes,
ma'am.
May I
She-
see that?
It's this
What do
one.
you say they paid in July?
250,
Okay.
cash.
These are the text messages.
I'm sorry, wait, don't go to the next thing. First, I'd like to see proof of $750. What is it you handed my bailiff?
That is the July agreement.
Yes, where, that's after
Hold
we
on one
had already
second.
paid her the 700.
She herself wrote that out, saying.
Okay, but this doesn't prove you paid July 700. This proves you're supposed to pay July 700. So do you have proof you paid July 700?
When-
It should look like a receipt for $700.
When we asked her for
Then
proof,
don't give her the cash.
She didn't give it.
Yeah, well,
That's
then
what
don't
she
give her
gave
cash. You
us.
know how she knows how to take a piece of paper and write something on it, and you know how to receive it. Because now I've got you claiming you paid $7, and I've got her acknowledging that you only paid $250. That's all you're going to get credit for.
Right, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Every single time that we tried to get her to sign anything or do anything that was well
Then
documented,
don't give her
she
the money.
refused.
But just then don't give her the money. I don't understand. The money's in your hands. Don't let go. Say, I'm going to need a receipt for that. No.
You're
get the money.
right. You're right.
That's
Your
all you got
Honor.
to do. Do you have the housing court petition
Yes, I
that you
do.
filed? May I see it?
Yes, I believe this is it right here.
So what you state is the one thing, locking me out of my residence, that we are not to return to the dwelling. This is on 7/12 and 7/11. After you had accepted $250 for July, she stated that she had received our keys and noticed that we did not live there, and that was completely fictional. We have had to receive police assistance on both dates just to enter the property. And she has made it very clear, you can't do this.
Yeah.
So what ended up happening? You guys settle in, you both parties end up in housing court, and there is an order after listening to both of you, and was this considered a settlement or the court's order?
The court's order.
Okay, so you guys didn't negotiate this. This is like, you're going to do this, you're going to do that.
Yes,
And
Your
what this first justice said is the landlord is ordered not to take any steps to dispossess the defendant's tenants or limit their access to the rooms they've rented. The parties are ordered not to have any personal contact with each other unless there is a bona fide emergency. All right. And then what happens? This is all entered into July 18th. What do you guys end up doing? You end up just moving out?
Well, we had no choice because she did not follow the order.
All right, so you end up taking your stuff out what day?
On 8/6, August 6th. I actually have the police report here written out by the officer who was present regarding that very day and incident when we went to get our belongings.
Let me see it. You're suing them for the rest of July, even though you're not letting them in July.
Because Mr. Viana had asked me, please, Anne-Marie, let us stay an extra month because we got to look for a place. I said, okay, fair enough, not a problem. And I believe that
Except you didn't let them come in.
I did, Your Honor. They
Well,
both,
no, their entire case in housing court was about you not letting them come in on several dates in July. And you're fighting it saying, you know, well, they're crazy and I don't want, you know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff happening in my house and I don't want them there. It's not, I let them in. I don't know what you're talking about.
They had keys, Your Honor. And also, if you would view some of the video footage of the police, of me asking the police, he said, well, you're stopping them from coming in. I said, I'm not stopping them. They have keys. However, they were running amok through my entire house. Mr. Viana was leaving the gate open for my animals to run out to the street. Miss Peters would come in through another door. They only
So
had...
you're suing for the rest of July rent because according to you, you didn't stop them from living
Their
there.
property was still there.
Uh-huh, okay. And you're suing for August rent.
Their
Why?
property was still there. Their property is still at my home.
So you're suing for September and October?
I don't know, Your Honor.
All right.
They're suing me
Cost
for...
to replace stolen bathroom fixtures. Show me a picture of the stolen bathroom fixtures.
There you go.
Did you guys steal the bathroom
I
pictures?
have the before
No, Your
and
Honor,
the
we've
after
never
pictures.
stolen anything from her.
Do we have before and after here?
No, that's the
How are they
bathroom,
missing?
Pictures. of
Well, a lot of our stuff is missing as well.
Right, but that's because you left it there, right? After all how many police escorts did you have there?
Maybe 2 or 3.
Okay, and why is it that you guys are having repeated trips to get there and over, and you know, instead of just getting your stuff out?
Because as the police officer states in that report, she made it incredibly difficult to come and get our stuff. In her eyes, we were going to go there, and it was going to be, you go in this room while I watch you, you know, and we have a 2-year-old with us. We have to get on with our day. We couldn't do it, you know, room by room with her standing over our shoulder.
Why does that make it take any longer?
Well, we were staying in a hotel as well. We did not have a place to live at the time. So
Wait, is it that you
My-
didn't have a place to put it?
Yes.
No, ma'am.
Yeah, it is,
Partially,
and that's
yes.
not an option for you. You don't get to store things there. What is this, a broken toilet seat?
Yes, that's.
And according to you, they broke it? Did
Yes,
that happen?
ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No.
I
The
put it-
only other times that we were there physically in the house was with a police escort. There was always a police officer walking with us and walking with Miss Mahoney.
We never had an opportunity to break or damage any of her property. And in the lease that she amended for July, she had every opportunity to not write that lease because of any damages that she thought that we had caused. And shortly after that, we were out and did not return without a police escort. We had no chance to cause any damages.
I have the dates.
Change of locks.
Yes, ma'am. I was ordered that I couldn't change the locks until they were,
But why would they have to pay you $300 for a change of locks?
well, after 14 police escorted trips
No,
to my home.
I know why
they-
you would like them
they
to, yeah,
would-
but they're saying they're only having to get police escorts because of you. So, but I know
They
why
wouldn't
you want
return
to
the
change the locks.
keys.
I'm saying, why is that their burden to pay you for?
They didn't return the keys. I have a police officer recorded video here.
Let's see your video. The cost to repaint, garbage disposal cost,
Yes, ma'am. I have.
cost to fix holes in the walls. You have pictures of the holes in the wall? No, go back to the lectern. Hand my bail,
No, this
no,
way.
go back to the,
There we
There
go.
you
That's
go.
how
All
you do a
right,
thing.
this is the mother coming down the stairs with her TV and me trying to safeguard their furniture.
okay?
I'd like for you to play this one first.
She can't go up there, guys. Now, this is a problem. That's her daughter's belongings.
Put the TV back up there.
This is my TV.
Put the TV in the You know what, we're done. The TV's not
Listen,
leaving.
it had a bow on it. My daughter's,
TV back up.
it is my TV.
TV goes back up.
Everybody knows it's my TV.
She says it's not.
But it's not up to her.
You can go to court and,
No, okay.
and the judge will determine, no, you're not, we're done.
But I live here. Why does she decide what's mine
We
and
are
what's
done.
not?
We are done. You guys can go to court and you can dispute over every single item in front of a judge.
I was trying to safeguard their property, Ronna.
Oh, that's helpful when you call the officer and. Okay, what am I supposed to learn from this that has anything to do with this case?
Well, this case, Your Honor, if you...
The answer's nothing. All right.
Yes,
Now,
well-
you've got a lawsuit against, a counterclaim against her for $750 for July rent, which you have no receipt for. So we've been over that, right?
This is all... property
And
that they-
according to you, she took your money. What's your version on this? She took your money for July rent, July 1st. When do you say that she stopped letting you in?
After they had another huge blowout,
Who's they?
Miss Mahoney and my mother-in-law.
Okay.
Up till 3, 4 in the morning, drinking, fighting, there's blood, knives, cops are involved. My mother-in-law actually has her mouth wired shut right now as we speak because of an incident with Miss Mahoney. So
I think it was July.
So in July 12th,
was
we
the day
left
that we
because of
left
one
and
of
didn't come
those incidents. We went to a hotel to remove our 2-year-old from the situation. Once we left, she started messaging us saying, don't come
Let
back
me see the
without a
messages.
police.
Okay, so who's more abusive? Tenants who abuse apartments or landlords who abuse tenants? What do you say?
I would say the landlord who abused the tenants.
Why?
Because I just had certain situations that I've been in where the landlord kind of abused me. When I was like moving out, like dropping my key off, and he said I didn't drop the key off, and then tried to take my security deposit.
I get it. Who thinks tenants are more abusive? Anybody? What do you say?
I think tenants sometimes feel that, well, they're not the owner, so it's not their
They
problem.
can do whatever they want with the property.
Exactly.
Gotcha. Point going inside the courtroom.
The ones that are important are circled and tabbed.
The pages that have tabs are circled what's important.
Got it. Here are the texts. You rent rooms on the top floor on a month-to-month basis. It is not your home. It is my home. It is not your dwelling. You left, and that is documented in police. That's by July 12th, and yet she's asking for rent. All right. And you're telling her, you can't deny us access to our home. If you want us to have a police escort every time we come to our dwelling, I don't think they're going to like that very much, but that's all right. Do not enter without one, and that is July 12th. Why on earth would you be entitled to July rent? We haven't received our 30-day notice to vacate, so until then, this month-to-month lease is valid, but okay, we'll just give you our official notice to vacate when we come by tonight to grab more things. It couldn't be more reasonable. Okay. Well, it's clear from the text that she wasn't letting you in, even though the judge made very clear that she had to let you in. Now, July 18th, do you have texts after that where she doesn't let you in?
Yeah,
July 18th is the day that everybody goes to court.
I think it's page 11 that specifies that our stuff has been thrown
Damaged.
outside the
Okay,
house.
and let me read it now, right? Okay. She's trying to kick me out. I didn't even do anything. And you're telling her, I told you, don't say I didn't warn you.
Yes.
She thinks I'm in on it. Mom, I'm sorry. You're going through this again, but you absolutely did this thing to yourself. Yes, she's crazy. What were you thinking of going back there? So what's August 4th? So what's going on now? We kiss and made up. I'm staying here. Psycho. Has all your stuff in the barn now. I put it there, and I took the TV, but she video recorded me. Now she knows you're planning on not cleaning up, so she locked up on your stuff. I'm so drunk. Oh, my God. I love her.
That's actually Anne-Marie.
That's your mother texting you.
No, it's Anne-Marie. She tells me it's Anne-Marie after a few texts. She goes, that was Anne-Marie, sorry.
May I ask what phone number
Never
that's
go
coming
away,
from?
little Gigi. I hear welfare is now feeding you and yours. You'll love to see your mama. And so
And that's on my mother-in-law's
coming down
phone.
the stairs with your, tell Eric to man up and feed his kids. Leave welfare, damn punk. Needed an old dyke to handle his business. Ha ha, what a joke of a man. This is all on your mother's phone?
My
Why
mother
are you
would-
texting on the mother's phone?
Your Honor.
Oh, you totally
The
texted.
mother has been in jail.
No, do you hear? Me pica aquí, me raca aquí.
Sí.
It itches me here, and you scratch me here. I am asking you, this is very clearly you, and
Yes,
not her
ma'am.
mother talking to her. I've seen how her mother sounds talking to her. You took her mother's phone, and you're texting
No,
all this
ma'am.
horrible stuff to her.
Your Honor, I dotted my I's, I
Why
crossed my
would you
T's.
do this? Why would you send all
I
this
did
stuff
not.
insulting
Her
him?
mother has been imprisoned by the
I
doors
need you to
broken
listen.
for the
her
police.
Her mother.
But you're
did it.
assuming I made the
Oh, I
texts.
totally know that you made the text.
No, ma'am, I did
know
not.
you made the
I
text
have my
from her
own
mother's
phone.
Yeah, I know. But
I
you
have,
made them from her
her mother
mother's phone.
hasn't been
'cause
in my
that's
home.
creepier.
Would you like to see documentation?
No, I would not. Please stop talking.
Okay. Well, I think, Your Honor,
Eric
you're
took it to the
prejudging.
shower, rod and hose. She's making me pay for the rod and hose. Did you
May
take
I
that?
send this up to the judge?
No.
The mother's been in New
There we go.
Hampshire.
So did her mother say to her, off slime bag word? That's her mother?
Your Honor, I have my own phone. If
Stop
you'd like
talking,
to go to all
please.
my texts,
She
you're
said
more
you
than
were
welcome.
both ghetto dirtbags that lived like animals. This is your mother
That's
saying that. That's what
third-party
she said.
hearsay.
And that she is selling the couches to a girl for $150. I have to fix everything you both broke. So she does imply that you guys broke stuff. What did you break?
No, that was still Anne-Marie.
That was still Anne-Marie.
No, I can.
What
Let me
she-
tell you something,
She-
guys. I can tell when it's one voice and when it's the other voice.
Right.
Anne-Marie wouldn't say. Anne-Marie said you guys are ghetto dirtbags because that would make Anne-Marie look bad. I know who's. I've been doing this a long, long time. Okay? You're 24. I'm not.
Judge, we did not break anything in her home.
Give me the pictures of everything you say they broke. These are them, right?
Yes, and I have one more, Your Honor, that'll show their mattresses and dresses in a barn that her mother.
What is left in there in the barn?
A brown dresser, a blue and white striped dresser, her daughter's crib, her daughter's mattress, boxes, her daughter's toys, her daughter's clothes, some other boxes of kitchen utensils. I couldn't tell you what's in the boxes. August 23rd.
You need to pick up your stuff. Why is your stuff still there? You're suing for $1,000 instead of going to get it.
Because she blocked us from
No,
coming
no, no.
back.
She didn't block anything. You are allowed to go there with a police escort. You have a court order. There's no reason not to.
I was under the impression that it was
Okay,
thrown
your
away.
impressions aren't evidence. So I'm going to give you a court order that lets you do that. Get the rest of your stuff out.
Well, it may still be in the barn, but I was told by my mother, I was told by
Okay,
her
we're
that it
done.
got
We're
thrown
done.
away.
Let's go through this lawsuit, okay? $450 for the balance of the July rent. You gotta be kidding me.
Your Honor.
No. Let me tell you what happens now. I don't want to hear a peep from anybody. You have got to be kidding me. You turn around and I mean it. If you say another word, I'm going to throw you out. Don't say another word. You have a court order that you flew directly in the face of, sending texts that say, you can't come in here, you can't come in here, and then you still don't let them in after the court order unless they have a police escort?
Because Miss Peters assaulted me.
You know what? Y'all deserve each other, honestly. So no, I'm not going to make them pay July rent. I am certainly not going to make them pay August rent. I don't even know how that would even come up. I have no idea how that would come up. You deny them access to getting there, and then you still want them to pay August rent. Okay.
I'd like them to return their keys.
Well, you change the locks because you're suing for $300 for that.
Except the lock that
Okay.
they have the keys to.
All right. How on earth would it ever be $550 to replace stolen bathroom fixture?
They took the curved rod, they took the plumbing fixtures, There's the broken fan. Here's all their debris.
Okay, here's what I want from you. I want from you the picture of the broken ceiling fan.
Right here.
Got
And
it.
Mr.
And then I
Beyonce's
want from you the
texting to
picture
accompany
of the
that.
holes in the wall and exposed wiring that they caused.
Right here.
Did you guys take the blades?
Ma'am, what had happened is that ceiling fan was very low to the ground. So one day Amber lifted her arm and one of the fan blades broke off.
So where are the blades?
I actually paid her to replace the blades.
And you have proof you paid her? Nope. Okay.
No.
Like she
All right.
said, it's all by honor, right?
No, there's no honor here.
Right.
Clearly, yes.
Okay. We wouldn't be in this mess had there been adherence to the interim court order on the 18th to allow them to stay there. We wouldn't be in this mess if it hadn't gotten this nasty that they didn't feel safe staying there either. And that is something that I'm going to be taking into consideration. I do see stuff missing, and I know how much anger was involved in this. And there are some damages there that you guys are going to have to pay for. Is it what she's saying? No. First of all, the broken ceiling fan, you have no proof because you don't have any receipt for having already paid her for that. So I'm ordering you to, I think $125 is reasonable for installing a new fan there. I'm not going to order you to pay rent because it is very obvious that she didn't, after you paid whatever little portion of July rent you did pay, that you weren't allowed back in there. Based on the damages I'm looking at, I'm going to give an estimate of about $300 in damages. And I'm going to order that $425 are due to her for the damages that have occurred. You don't have to pay $300 to change locks with no receipt, $500 for stolen bathroom with no invoice. All of these other numbers that she arrives at are just silly.
May I?
No, you may not talk ever again in my courtroom.
Must be the sexuality thing.
No, it's not. And I resent that. And you know what? Get out of my courtroom.
Yes,
Get
ma'am.
out. I resent that not only because I have family members who would be very offended by what you just said. Get out of here and stop playing victim. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Step out. Step out.
Wait till that way.
How dare she? Listen, as to the stuff that's still there, I'm going to issue an order that gives you, make it quick. How long is it going to take you to get the stuff out of there?
We could do it in a day. Now that we have somewhere to live.
No,
and we
I
have
mean
the
how
means to
much
live.
time from now? Like, I'm going to give you 5 days. That's enough for you to do it? Or within a week?
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so that way you have, all right. So I will give you a week, but try to get it done this weekend. An order that says that you can go over there to pick up the rest of the stuff that's been left there.
Thank
Okay?
you.
I am finding that she is owed $425 in damages that you guys committed. However, I am finding that because of her illegal lockout, that you are entitled to $425 in damages for what it put you through that month. Therefore, you do not have to pay any of the damages.
Thank you,
Because she
Your Honor.
can't take the law into her own hands. Okay? That's what we're here for, so that that doesn't happen. She acknowledges you paid rent, and then there's a million texts saying, you're not allowed in here, don't you dare come back. She can't do that. That is an illegal lockout, and she can't do it. All right? That's my judgment.
Well, in a rather riveting lawsuit, the plaintiff has been thrown out of the courtroom. She has gone, and it's over. No money's going to pass hands. How do you feel about what just went on in here?
Well, I'm happy that it's all over. It was brutal.
Sounds like a mess,
Yeah, yes.
I mean-
Yes, you're right.
to put it mildly.
Absolutely.
Are you two okay now? I mean, you're living happily in a safe place? Your kids okay?
You betcha, yep. Everything is much better now.
Well, thank you very much, okay?
Thank
Sorry you had to go through this. Harvey?
Okay, Doug. Well, I got to say, I kind of expected this, but we did some checking, and the plaintiff did not allow the defendants to come and pick up their stuff.